Beloved, there are moments in life when heaven begins to knock loudly on the door of your spirit. There are seasons when the signs around you are no longer ordinary, but urgent messages wrapped in divine concern. Today is one of those moments. This message is not by accident, and your ears are not hearing these words by chance. There is a calling going out specifically for you. The hand of grace is reaching, the voice of truth is speaking, and a divine warning is being released with urgency. Something hidden is about to be exposed, something wrong is about to be stopped, and a major arrest in the spiritual realm is drawing near. You are being awakened for a reason. You are being prepared for a purpose. This is a time to pay attention, to listen closely, and to recognize that heaven is trying to reach you before a powerful turning point unfolds in your life. There are moments in life when the atmosphere around a person begins to shift, moments when the ordinary rhythm of daily living is interrupted by a deep inner stirring. In such seasons the heart feels a pull that cannot be ignored, a sacred whisper that keeps returning again and again. This is not coincidence, and it is not imagination. When heaven decides to get the attention of a soul, signs begin to appear, dreams begin to speak, and circumstances begin to align in unusual ways. Many people go through life distracted, busy, rushing from one concern to another, yet there comes a time when a divine signal breaks through all the noise. Right now there is an urgent call going out. It is a call meant to awaken, to alert, and to prepare. Something important is unfolding behind the scenes, and those who remain sensitive in spirit can already sense that a turning point is near. Too often warnings are ignored because they arrive wrapped in simple moments, but wisdom understands that every message from above carries purpose. The days that feel confusing are often the very days when protection is being arranged. What looks delayed may actually be carefully designed. Even when nothing seems to be happening on the surface, unseen movements are taking place. There are battles fought that human eyes cannot see, and there are plans being rearranged for the sake of truth and justice. A major arrest is coming, an exposure of what has tried to operate in darkness. Wrong intentions, hidden schemes, and secret attacks do not remain concealed forever. The light always finds a way to reveal what has been buried. For too long certain struggles have followed the steps of the faithful. For too long unnecessary burdens have tried to sit on shoulders that were meant to walk in peace. But every season has an appointed time, and the time for interference to be confronted has arrived. The reason this message feels so personal is because it is personal. It is directed to the one who has been wondering why obstacles kept appearing, to the one who has questioned why progress felt blocked, to the one who has carried battles in silence. Heaven does not ignore the cries of the sincere. Help may not always arrive in the form expected, yet it always arrives at the appointed hour. An urgent reaching is happening because protection is being activated. The atmosphere around life is shifting from confusion to clarity, from struggle to breakthrough. When a higher power decides to intervene, every chain begins to lose strength. Every plot formed in secret begins to crumble. Every weight that was never meant to be carried is prepared to fall away. The wise will recognize this season and respond with attentiveness. Instead of fear, there must be readiness. Instead of discouragement, there must be awareness. This is not a time to sleep spiritually or to ignore inner promptings. Doors that were once tightly closed are beginning to unlock. Answers that seemed far away are drawing closer. Justice has a voice, and that voice is rising. What has tried to delay destiny is being confronted. What has whispered lies is being silenced. The call is urgent because the moment is important. Preparation is taking place for a powerful shift. Strength is being restored to weary hearts. Courage is being poured into tired spirits. Every experience endured up to this point has been shaping endurance for this very hour. The message is clear that protection surrounds those who stay alert and faithful. Even when the road felt lonely, guidance was present. Even when confusion tried to settle in the mind, truth remained standing. The approaching arrest represents freedom from what has tried to hold life captive. It represents the end of cycles that never belonged. It represents the beginning of a season where peace replaces pressure. Those who listen carefully will sense new hope rising within. Those who pay attention will notice opportunities appearing where none existed before. The urgency of this moment should not bring panic but expectation. Something powerful is being set in order. Something necessary is being corrected. The unseen hand that guides all things is moving pieces into place. Every delay, every tear, Every unanswered question has been recorded and understood. Now the page is turning. Now the chapter is changing. A fresh wind is beginning to blow over circumstances that once felt stuck. This is a sacred alert for the heart that has been waiting, a reminder that no struggle lasts forever. What was meant to harm is being stopped. What was meant to discourage is being overturned. The season of hidden battles is coming to an end, and a season of visible victories is drawing near. Awareness in this hour is vital. Sensitivity in this hour is necessary. The reaching continues. The call continues. The preparation continues. Beloved, there are moments in life when heaven begins to knock loudly on the door of your spirit. There are seasons when the signs around you are no longer ordinary, but urgent messages wrapped in divine concern. Today is one of those moments. This message is not by accident, and your ears are not hearing these words by chance. There is a calling going out specifically for you. The hand of grace is reaching, the voice of truth is speaking, and a divine warning is being released with urgency. Something hidden is about to be exposed, something wrong is about to be stopped, and a major arrest in the spiritual realm is drawing near. You are being awakened for a reason. You are being prepared for a purpose. This is a time to pay attention, to listen closely, and to recognize that heaven is trying to reach you before a powerful turning point unfolds in your life. There are seasons when life feels ordinary on the surface, yet deep within the spirit, something restless begins to move. A person may go about normal routines, speaking to familiar people, walking familiar paths, and still sense that an invisible hand is trying to gain attention. These are not random feelings. They are signals meant to awaken awareness. Many ignore such moments because they arrive quietly, but those who are sensitive understand that urgency often speaks in gentle ways. Right now there is a divine attempt to reach the heart that has grown tired, distracted, or uncertain. Messages have been coming through different channels, through unexpected conversations, through sudden memories, through unexplainable impressions. None of it is accidental. When heaven desires to protect a life, warnings are released ahead of time. What looks like pressure is often preparation. What feels like confusion is often the beginning of clarity being formed. The present hour is filled with spiritual movement even if natural eyes cannot yet see it. Something serious is being confronted in the unseen realm. Forces that have operated against peace are being identified and brought to account. A major arrest is coming, an interruption of plans that were never meant to prosper. Too many have walked unaware that battles were being fought around them. Too many have blamed themselves for struggles that were not created by their own hands, but truth is now rising to the surface. Light has begun to expose what darkness tried to hide. Every tear cried in private has been noticed. Every prayer whispered in silence has been heard. The urgency of this moment exists because change is standing at the door. There is protection being arranged even when circumstances appear unstable. Sometimes rescue arrives just before a person gives up. Sometimes deliverance appears right when hope feels weakest. The reaching that is happening now is filled with compassion and purpose. It is a call to wake up from spiritual sleep, to pay attention to signs that have been ignored for too long. Doors that once looked permanently closed are slowly beginning to move. Chains that felt unbreakable are quietly losing their strength. The weight carried for many seasons is not meant to remain forever. Justice has a timetable, and that timetable has reached an important hour. What has tried to sabotage destiny is being pursued and restrained. Hidden agendas cannot survive in the presence of truth. The faithful are being prepared to witness a powerful turnaround. Discouragement will not have the final word. Fear will not write the last chapter. This message arrives as confirmation that struggles have an expiration date. The inner restlessness felt lately is not anxiety but awakening. It is the spirit being alerted that a shift is near. Help is closer than it appears. Answers are nearer than emotions suggest. The approaching arrest represents freedom from cycles that stole joy and delayed progress. It represents restoration of what was lost and recovery of what was taken. Nothing endured has been wasted. Even painful experiences have been shaping stronger faith and deeper wisdom. The one receiving this message is being called to stand firm, to remain watchful, to refuse discouragement. There is a realignment taking place that will soon be visible. What was crooked is being made straight. What was chaotic is being brought into order. The urgency is not meant to create panic, but to create readiness. Preparation always precedes promotion. Awareness always comes before breakthrough. The days ahead carry promise even if the present moment feels uncertain. A new chapter waits just beyond the current struggle. The heart that has wondered if relief would ever arrive is being answered in this hour. The reaching continues because protection refuses to give up, mercy refuses to withdraw, grace continues to chase the weary soul. This is a turning point disguised as an ordinary day. Those who listen closely will sense courage rising again. Those who stay attentive will notice fresh strength entering tired places. The approaching arrest is a declaration that evil assignments are being cancelled and replaced with peace. No scheme formed in secret can outrun the power of truth. No opposition can stand forever. What has lingered too long is finally being addressed. The atmosphere is changing from heaviness to hope. The season of constant struggle is giving way to a season of relief. Patience practiced in hidden moments is about to be rewarded openly. The message is urgent because the time is now. Every delay experienced before has been leading to this appointed moment. Restoration is not a distant dream, but an approaching reality. Guidance is being released for the steps ahead. Protection is surrounding decisions yet to be made. The reaching hand of heaven remains extended, inviting trust and attentiveness. Even when the path forward seems unclear, direction is being prepared. Strength is being renewed for the journey that continues. Peace is being arranged in places once filled with turmoil. The call to awaken echoes louder than before because destiny stands at the edge of fulfillment. Those who felt overlooked are about to be remembered. Those who felt defeated are about to rise again. The story is not finished and the final outcome belongs to hope. Every moment endured has carried hidden purpose. Every trial survived has built unseen character. Now the results of perseverance are beginning to appear. The urgent message remains alive, reaching, warning, guiding, protecting and preparing the faithful heart for what is about to unfold. Beloved, there are moments in life when heaven begins to knock loudly on the door of your spirit. There are seasons when the signs around you are no longer ordinary, but urgent messages wrapped in divine concern. Today is one of those moments. This message is not by accident, and your ears are not hearing these words by chance. There is a calling going out specifically for you. The hand of grace is reaching, the voice of truth is speaking, and a divine warning is being released with urgency. Something hidden is about to be exposed, something wrong is about to be stopped, and a major arrest in the spiritual realm is drawing near. You are being awakened for a reason. You are being prepared for a purpose. This is a time to pay attention, to listen closely, and to recognize that heaven is trying to reach you before a powerful turning point unfolds in your life. There are times in the journey of life when everything familiar begins to feel unsettled, as though an unseen hand is gently shaking the foundations that once felt secure. In such moments, many wonder why peace suddenly feels distant, or why the heart has become so sensitive to things that were once ignored. This inner stirring is not confusion but communication. It is the language of heaven, trying to reach a soul before an important shift takes place. Every person experiences seasons when warnings arrive quietly, long before visible events unfold. The wise learn to recognize these sacred interruptions. Right now there is an urgent attempt to capture attention, to awaken awareness, to draw the mind and heart back to a place of spiritual alertness. Too often people assume that daily struggles are normal and unchangeable, but there are battles happening beyond natural sight. There are forces that try to delay progress, discourage faith and steal joy, yet none of them have final authority. A major arrest is coming, a powerful moment when what has been working in secret will be confronted openly. Nothing hidden remains hidden forever. Truth has a way of rising at the appointed time. The one who feels as though life has been filled with unusual resistance must understand that such resistance is often a sign that something valuable is being protected. When destiny is near, opposition grows loud. When breakthrough approaches, confusion tries to increase. But the present hour is not a time for fear. It is a time for discernment. Messages have already been sent through dreams, through inner impressions, through unexpected confirmations. These are reminders that no one walks alone. Protection has been active even on days when it did not feel real. The urgency being felt now is an act of mercy, a call to wake up before a significant turning point arrives. Every delay experienced in the past carried hidden purpose. Every closed door served as unseen redirection. Even painful moments were shaping stronger character and deeper wisdom. What felt like rejection was often rescue in disguise. The approaching arrest represents the end of cycles that have stolen peace for too long. It represents the exposure of influences that never belonged in the story. For many seasons, burdens were carried in silence, questions were held inside, and tears were shed without witnesses. Yet none of those moments were unnoticed. Heaven keeps careful record of every struggle endured. Now a new chapter is preparing to open. The atmosphere around life is slowly changing. Hope that once felt fragile is beginning to grow again. Strength that seemed lost is quietly returning. This is not imagination, but preparation. The reaching that is happening now is filled with purpose. It is an invitation to trust, to stand firm, to believe that justice is real. What has tried to sabotage progress is being restrained. What has whispered discouragement is being silenced. The faithful heart is being called to rise above past disappointments and look forward with expectation. Even when the road ahead appears uncertain, guidance is being arranged step by step. No season of hardship lasts forever. Every storm eventually runs out of power. The present moment may feel heavy, yet it is heavy with promise. The urgency of this message exists because something important is about to change. Relief is closer than emotions can measure. Answers are nearer than circumstances suggest. Those who remain attentive will begin to notice small signs of transformation. Opportunities will appear where walls once stood. Peace will replace pressure in places that felt impossible to fix. The approaching arrest is a declaration that evil assignments have an expiration date. Schemes formed in darkness cannot survive in the light of truth. The one receiving this message is being prepared to witness restoration in areas once considered hopeless. Faith that felt weak is being strengthened. Vision that grew blurry is becoming clear again. Every step taken in patience is leading toward visible reward. This hour calls for courage rather than worry, for attentiveness rather than despair. What has been stolen emotionally and spiritually is being scheduled for return. The reaching continues because mercy never gives up. Even when mistakes were made, compassion remained present. Even when discouragement tried to settle in the mind, unseen help continued to work quietly. Now the results of that hidden help are preparing to appear openly. The season of confusion is giving way to a season of clarity. The season of waiting is slowly transforming into a season of fulfillment. Nothing suffered has been meaningless. Nothing endured has been wasted. The heart that felt forgotten is being remembered. The life that felt delayed is being realigned. This message arrives as confirmation that the story is not over. Better days are not a distant fantasy but an approaching reality. The urgent call remains active because destiny requires readiness. Preparation is happening even now. Strength is being renewed for the road ahead. Wisdom is being poured into decisions yet to be made. The faithful are being positioned to walk into a new level of peace and purpose. Every chain that tried to limit the future is losing its grip. Every lie that created fear is being replaced with truth. The approaching arrest stands as proof that justice watches carefully over every life. What tried to harm will no longer succeed. What tried to confuse will no longer control. A powerful shift is unfolding, and those who stay awake in spirit will recognize the change as it arrives. The reaching will not stop, the guidance will not fade, the protection will not withdraw. Even in moments that feel ordinary, extraordinary plans are being arranged. The heart that receives this message is being invited into a season of renewal, a season where hope breathes freely again, where peace takes root deeply, and where the weight of yesterday slowly falls away. Something significant is on the horizon, and awareness in this hour will open the door to blessings long prepared but not yet revealed. Beloved, there are moments in life when heaven begins to knock loudly on the door of your spirit. There are seasons when the signs around you are no longer ordinary, but urgent messages wrapped in divine concern. Today is one of those moments. This message is not by accident, and your ears are not hearing these words by chance. There is a calling going out specifically for you. The hand of grace is reaching, the voice of truth is speaking, and a divine warning is being released with urgency. Something hidden is about to be exposed, something wrong is about to be stopped, and a major arrest in the spiritual realm is drawing near. You are being awakened for a reason. You are being prepared for a purpose. This is a time to pay attention, to listen closely, and to recognize that heaven is trying to reach you before a powerful turning point unfolds in your life.